Hello, today's March the 15th, 2:06 p.m. 2021. I'm trying a new social media app. I think it's pretty cool here. There's a banner. It's called StreamYard. So if I'm not using it correctly, please let me know. Or I think you can make a comment on here as well. Anyhow, I'm gonna start a book called Seductions Exposed. This is the book here. We're getting a lot of people that are calling us that are Christians that are struggling with sexual immorality. And I believe that this book is going to help you if it's something that you struggle with. I've read it myself. It's a good book. So we're going to get started. All right. So the introduction says, fasten your spiritual seatbelts. We are going to take you on a roller coaster expose of why so many beautiful Christians are plagued by tragic relationships, weird manipulations at the hands of others, and a succession of inexplainable curses. Listen to this horrendous testimony by a sweet, God-fearing young woman who received God's wisdom, understanding, and deliverance from the messages in this book. She begins, I recently discovered that in my toddler years, an aunt who was also a high priestess in a satanic church had placed a curse upon me. As a child, I was always sickly, unhappy, and lonely. I was constantly rejected, belittled, and intimidated by the other children. My only friends were children who, for one reason or another, were also considered outcasts. Associating with those children only reinforced me feelings of rejection and low self-esteem. My home life was also unhappy. No matter how hard I tried, I never seemed able to please my mother or live up to her standards of perfection. She spared no words in telling me so. By the time I was in my mid-teens, I was looking for a way out of the house. One night I went to a party. Let's see here. One night I went to a party with my boyfriend, drank too much alcohol, and actually passed out in the front seat of his car. He raped me. Being totally devastated, I broke up with him because I wanted to remain a virgin for the man I married. But even though I felt dirty and ruined, I was strangely drawn back to him. Later, I learned I had developed a soul tie to him through our sexual involvement. I did not love him, but thought that since my life was ruined and my dreams were shattered, I might as well take this opportunity to leave home, so I married him. As my husband, he was basically a good person, but he had a violent temper and would often abuse me physically. Because he also suffered from oppression and rejection, he would belittle and falsely accuse me constantly. Eventually, he also began sleeping with other women on a regular basis. After 5 unhappy years, we were divorced. But like so many others, I went from one unhappy marriage to another that was also doomed to fail. My second husband was unfaithful as well. Scared and hurting with the responsibility of 3 small children to raise alone, I cried out to God for help and accepted Jesus Christ as my Savior. I found a little church where the pastor had a desire for the things of God, and I grew in the knowledge of and understanding of God's ways. After experiencing God's blessing for a while, some men came into that body of believers and introduced the shepherding doctrine of absolute submission to the leadership. Gradually, a wrong spirit came upon that church. During that time, there was a young man in the church who decided I was to be his wife. Even though I felt no attraction to him, he enlisted the help of the church leadership and pressured me into a marriage. I later learned this was a form of charismatic witchcraft and manipulation. I'm just right now. There's nobody on here watching, so I'm just kind of messing with this new program. Let me mark my spot here where I was. Let's see here. Live viewers comments show up on your streamer. This is a example. Click on the comment to show on screen. Post a comment. Oh, okay. So that's how that works. Camera. Oh, wow. Let's see here. Default. Logo. All right, that was cool. All right. Invite. Copy to clipboard. Invite guests to the broadcast studio. Okay. You can have up to 6 people on the screen at once if you need more. Okay.